What's going on, everybody? Forgive me. I'm a bit under the weather. Or the weather is under me, or over me, or whatever. Anyway, um, I've been pondering, like Pinky in the Brain. I've been pondering a couple of things. Um, the new Roots just came out. I watched at the first episode. I thought it was a pretty interesting take on the original. I have to actually go and watch it again um, because I wasn't really paying attention. I was doing some things, and it was on, and I was halfway watching it and halfway not. Um, One thing that stood out to me, obviously, was the boat scene. If you haven't seen it, too bad. It's a boat scene, where they're bringing them from Africa, and they have the sisters on there, and they have one boat scene was when they had Kunta Kinte and everybody down in the bottom of the ship, and the sister come by up top singing to them in their language, and she's basically telling them, give it, just go ahead, just go with the flow or whatever, and Kunta's uncle asks her if there's a way for them to take over the ship, and I believe she says no or whatever. But then one time they have them up on the deck of the ship exercising them, and basically Kunta figures it's time for them to try to take the boat over to go back home, and they know that behind this wall that they've built is basically the armory where they have the guns and everything. So they figure if they can get over there, get the guns, they can, take over the ship. They give a valiant effort, but the thing I liked about it was that the brothers and the sisters were working together to try to take over the ship because they wanted to go home. Obviously, it didn't work, but they gave it a good try, and that's what unity is. You get 100% for trying, you get 0 for not trying. Now, the reason I'm talking about Roots and everything is because Snoop Dogg was talking about the Roots and how we need to boycott it and not watch these movies and stuff because it shows the worst of the race and everything. And I was in agreement with him, but then I started thinking about the newer generation of children that are coming around. They are not watching the old Roots because it's old. They don't know anybody in the movie, LeVar Burton. They don't know, well, they know O.J. Simpson from, killing white women. But they don't know him when he was, at the top of his game and he was, the man. That's the reason he was in there. And Lou Gossett Jr. and all these other people that are in the movie. So they really can't relate to that. So they made a new Roots so they could possibly relate to it. Now, obviously, they've taken their own creative license in a way on the movie and changed up a bit, and that's where I kind of got confused. But basically, they tried to stay in the same vein of the book / first movie. But Snoop was saying that we need to boycott these slave movies because they keep on talking about slavery and everything, and we have a much richer history than that. Now that is true, but the thing that I have a problem with now with Snoop and his synopsis of black movies and black history being told in these movies is that he is the embodiment of what is wrong with black people in a way. And the reason I say this is because for over 20 years, when did he come out? 92? Over 20 years, he's been rapping about the destruction of the black family. Bitches ain't shit, and nigga with a gun, and murder was the case, and the list goes on and on. He hasn't elevated his rapping to speaking about problems in the hood, in the community. Now he might do a few things from what I hear. Some people, I get different stories. One person that told me that he's real close to the gang that that Snoop's supposedly from, and they say he wasn't a member or whatever, but they say he does things in the community. Some people say that he doesn't, but the bottom line is I can't recall any Snoop Dogg businesses. If I'm wrong, I'd love to be wrong, but I don't recall any Snoop Dogg businesses that are hiring people. Even his clothing line is like, where do they sell that stuff? Who makes it? Who sells it? Where are the stores? I haven't seen Snoop Dogg clothing. I haven't seen a whole lot of stuff that he promotes and stuff like that, except for obviously I don't smoke weed. So if him and Daz have weed products out there, obviously I'm not a partaker in any of that, and that's not a benefit to the race in any way at all. But people like Snoop. I mean, I'm using Snoop as a all encompassing word because people like him are saying the same things. He's celebrities, so we need to stop making these slave movies and whatnot. But the bottom line is, what are you doing with your money to help not make these movies? Danny Glover has been trying to make a movie about Toussaint Louverture for years. And he got some money from Hugo Chavez before he died. Hugo Chavez used to be the president of Venezuela. He died from a sudden case of cancer. But he gave Danny Glover, I believe, like $6 million or whatever to try to make this movie about Toussaint Louverture because, as we know in American history, if it wasn't for Toussaint Louverture, the Louisiana Purchase never would have happened and America wouldn't have expanded to the West because the French were whooping their ass. So they went over to Haiti and, tried to take over from them and they beat them back. So the French was like, oh, hell with this. You can have this, meaning Haiti, and you can have all the rest of this shit too. Just sell it. That's how I believe Thomas Jefferson bought all that for, $6 million at the time? So, I mean, he got it for basically like almost nothing or something like that. But he's trying to make this movie and he can't get any help. You got Don Cheadle that just made a movie about Miles Davis. He couldn't get money either, so he had to create a fictional white character in the movie to get the movie made. That's the same thing that Danny Glover's having a problem with because they're telling him if you don't have a white counterpart to your black hero, you will not get your movie made. White people always have to have some kind of overseer type role in anything that we do because we don't take it upon ourselves to be involved. Now, I don't know the backdoor dealings or the behind closed door dealings behind the sale of of BET, but I mean, Bob Johnson sold BET to Viacom for $2 billion. Now, I don't count people's money because I can't, but I mean, I figure that Oprah and Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson could have got together and bought BET. Same thing with TV One, I believe it was supposedly, especially Soul Train. Soul Train got sold also. Everything that black people have, we allow to be sold to the highest bidder. Now, I'm not saying that any black people didn't get their bid in. They might have. But what I do know is that it wasn't sold to nobody black. I think it was one Telemundo or one Hispanic company, TV company, they just got sold. I don't think they got sold to white people. I'm just saying. So, people like Snoop with money to burn, supposedly, they're doing the race a disservice by not supporting people like Spike Lee that had to go out and do GoFundMe campaigns and things like that to get money. He was just, I saw a video, obviously it's old, but it was talking about how Spike Lee had to go and basically, hat in hand and ask for money to finish Malcolm X because the insurance company didn't want to finish it. They were going to pull out. They wanted all their money. They wanted the film and everything else. So he had to go ask Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan and Bill Cosby and all these other people for money to finish the movie. This is a shame. You don't have Jews doing this. You don't have a bunch of other races doing this. Black people, we always do this to ourselves. and then we complain. So I have to apologize for not giving the new roots, equal footing, because I should have watched it better, paid more attention to it to see what exactly they were doing for a new generation. Because obviously back then they only had so much money and they had so much that they could put out because of feelings and sentiments. I mean, they kept Spook Who Sat by the Door locked down for 30 years. So imagine if they actually put the real sentiments of Alex Haley or whoever in Roots. It would have been like Django or something. I'm just saying. But the point I'm making is that, Snoop is free to express his opinion and have his own feelings about anything and everything. But unless you have proof of life, then your feelings and opinions are invalid, because we have many black movie makers that want to make movies about us before slavery. Now, all of us were not Egyptian, but we can make our own Gods of Egypt movies instead of complaining about them being made with all white cast. We can be making black movies like this. We can have our own NBA instead of being employees to white people, benefiting off our talents. We can have our own Negro League again instead of white people benefiting off our talents. Excuse me. But we don't want to do that. We'd rather be employees instead of employers. We'd rather sit and complain about what somebody else is doing, be it black or white, instead of doing it ourselves. IMDb.com is a website you can go to that shows, you can pull up information about any movie or show or actor or actress in the world. And Snoop has 85 movie credits or film and movie credits to his name. Not one of them is anything about anything uplifting. Bones, about a neighborhood hustler. Then he made Malice in Wonderland, all his videos. None of this stuff is constructive to the benefit of black people as a whole. But he complains about roots. I wish that someone would pay attention to me or even take me serious to get the message to Snoop. I'm not talking down to Snoop in any way, shape, form, or fashion. I'm just using him, like I said, as a catch-all. I would hope that these people in Hollywood, the rappers, the athletes, movie stars, and etc., would take it upon themselves to spend some of this money in creating film companies. Even like Ice Cube, he made his own film company, and he hires as many black people, I suppose, as he can for the movies. We need more of this. We need more Tyler Perry's making more movies, not movies with men running around in dresses and shit, but some productive shows that showcase black people doing more than having a relationship with a ball, or having a broken up relationship, beating on their women and things of that nature. We can make these movies like we did in the 90s. It's not hard. So, till next time, it's our time now.